Good afternoon. It is Monday. Wow, July 12th. This year is speeding by as that storm that outside is speeding by. It's storming, it's raining cats and dogs, as they say, literally outside right now. It is Monday. I'm Eric Knowles, the president of the Miami-Dade Chamber, and I want to welcome you to the Member Connection. But before we get started, here's a word from one of our supporters.
My name is Amber Longhorn, and I am the Director of Jackson Health Systems Small Business Enterprise Program. Jackson is proud to partner with the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce in bringing you this video series. We hope you'll gain valuable information and tools on doing business in Miami-Dade County, but especially with Jackson Health System. We invite you to visit us online for more information at www.jacksonsmallbusiness.org.
So, here we are. Welcome. How are you, Dominique?
Hi, Eric. How are you? I'm great.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining us today on this wet, rainy day here in South Florida. I think it's raining in the entire state of Florida the way it's coming down outside, but we're inside. We're not getting wet.
Up and it just started raining like crazy.
Yeah.
Nowhere. Yeah.
It's like, tropical storm going on outside. Really, I didn't hear of anything, but anyway, We're here. Glad to have you for our Monday connection. I tell you, this year is blowing by like that rain and wind outside. But how have you been?
I'm great. I'm blessed. The year is going by very fast. I totally agree. I can't believe we're approaching August already. So half over, a lot to think about and reflect on. But it's good. It's good.
Absolutely. So here we are again. As we say, half the year is gone. I know you've been engaged with the chamber. We want to thank you so much for becoming a part of the chamber family. But what we're doing now is a part of what you do as far as being that social media web designer. You started a company in the middle of COVID, if I remember correctly. Whoa, slipping. Here, in the middle of COVID, and you talk about pivoting. Let the folks know who you are, even before you started this your web design business.
My name is Dominique Baptiste. I am a web designer. I'm the CEO of Websieme. My background is technology. I went to school for computer programming years and years and years ago, and I had a career at various investment banks in New York City. About a 20-year career there, wearing different hats from coding to managing projects to managing people. Just architecture, design. I wore a lot of hats in my time in corporate America in New York. I moved to Florida almost 3 years ago, less than 3 years ago. And, I decided to start my own company because, I got a job in Florida working for a wireless company, and I wound up losing it right before COVID. I was doing some web technology work for some people on the side. So at that point, I decided to just do it full time because I really enjoyed doing it. It was something that I was passionate about. I enjoyed, and I had a lot of fun doing it. It was challenging, and it allowed me to show a creative side of me instead of just the back end side of the data and the coding and so forth. So I took a leap of faith. I officially opened up in February 2020. And, and I'm still new. I'm still learning. And the chamber has been a great support to me and my business. So I'm very happy to make that connection and to meet the wonderful people of the chamber. They've provided so much support in a sense of mentorship, in a sense of opportunities, and it's priceless. It's priceless.
Right. And then you say you started in February of 20, and here we hit March of 20. Right in the middle of COVID, the beginning of COVID. Tell me, how did that impact your starting of your business? From my perspective, a lot of us, here we are, and StreamYard. We're Zooming, we're on this platform, and obviously having a website is not the same, but in order for you today in 2021, if you're in business and you don't have a website, you're basically not in business.
I agree with that. Well, yeah, I did start right before COVID, and I'm raising 3 kids, a single mom. So, it was scary. It was scary. There was a lot of unknowns health-wise, being stuck in the house. What are my kids going to do? They're going to get pulled out of school. And, but God is good, and opportunities did come my way. It may not have been web technology, but I was working on a lot of companies who needed help with setting up Zoom, setting up webinars. I would manage that whole process for them, email campaigns, staying connected with their clients. So I did a lot of back end work. A lot of opportunities came to me through COVID. People who were savvy enough to, stay connected during that time reached out to me, and referrals are everything. So once I did it for one person, other people were reaching out to ask me to help them with their getting them set up, helping them manage a webinar that allowed them to stay connected with their clients. So that became a very big thing for me when I started out. Just keeping businesses in communication with their clients through email campaigns, social media, webinars, Zoom meetings, etc.
Right. And having the background you have, I mean, when you tell us about your background prior to moving from New York, obviously it lends itself to what it is that you're doing now. But a lot of people think they can do it themselves, and some are obviously great at doing it. Why would you tell someone that they should hire someone like yourself?
Well, I think that is a very good question, Eric. I think with the whole DIY, it's like with anything else. You can even, you can do your kitchen yourself. You can do anything yourself, but the end result is evident. If you don't have any expertise or any prior, you won't know all the things that a website can offer your business. Not only will an expert make it look outstanding, they will also make sure that if there's functionality that would be good for your business to have on your website, that they incorporate that, whether it's call to actions, whether it's forms, whether it's selling a product, whether it's integrating with your accounting system, integrating with your CRM. There's so many things that web technology can do besides just being a website. So a lot of people think that, they can just put something together, and many people can, and that many people do a decent job. But I think if you really want to represent a brand, represent your business, it's one of those things you do need to get somebody who knows what they're doing. It makes a big difference.
Absolutely. You talk about CRM, and I know there's a lot of acronyms when it comes to websites. So again, in terms of what are some of the biggest pitfalls that you would say that a person has in selecting someone to design their website?
It's the options.
What should they be looking for?
Yeah, there's so many options. I think I even have something written up about why, how you should choose somebody to work on your website. Depending on the industry you're in, or the line of work that you're in, you really want to find somebody that, if you're going to constantly need to update your site, specifically if you're selling a product, you're constantly having sales, you're constantly updating your home screen image, you're constantly updating your call to actions, then you really should find somebody that you can have a relationship with. The last thing that you want is to have to go to different people all the time, because that exposes your back end. That makes you vulnerable to cyber attacks. You want to limit the amount of people that have access to your system, because we live in a really in a cyber-friendly world. Everybody wants to attack websites and so forth. So you can't just trust a whole bunch of different people with access. Number one. Number two, there's integrity. When you're working with someone or with a company, you know that you can go back to them. If something does go wrong, you have support. If you go to something like a freelancer.com or a Fiverr, they are task oriented. So you give them a task and they do it, but there's no camaraderie. There's no brainstorming. There's no discussion about how we can make this better or what, different avenues to take. You're going to them with a specific, want. And also giving them flexibility. A lot of times they're not accountable for their work. So it may be great for the first 6 months. And then what happens after that? When you need something changed or something breaks or there's a conflict, you don't really have them to go back to. So that's
right.
one of the advantages of working with an experienced technologist, working with someone who is, owns a company or, with a company, because there is accountability and there's less risk and exposure for you as you make your systems and available to people.
We talk about analytics. Can you talk about that a little bit and the importance of analytics?
I think it should be, that is very good. And I can't believe I didn't even mention that when you asked your previous question. No site should be created without installing Google Analytics at the very least. It's free, it's fast, it's easy, and it provides 2 years worth of data for your company. So especially if you're running any promotions, any ads, if you do not back it up with analytics to understand what's working, what's not working, to actually see the difference, to see the actual how many people have come to your site, how long they stay on your site, what pages they go to. You're running ads with you don't know, you're spending money without having any real data to know if it's working, and you're going to keep spending money. So if you run an ad, let's just say you run a Facebook ad and the results are pretty good, but then you run a Google ad, you want to know the difference. Where am I better placing my money? Should I put more money here or there? Does one work? Does one not work? So analytics are very, very important. It does hold your data for 2 years and it's not retroactive. So if you don't put it in the day your website goes live, all that information is not retrievable.
Right. So when you talk about costs, I know, like you said, Facebook, there's, you could do ads on Facebook. So tell me the difference when you talk about Google Analytics and you talk about ads. Obviously, you can do ads on Facebook. How would a company do ads outside of Facebook?
Well, there's all types of advertising. So email campaigns are a form of digital marketing, right? Advertising. So you have a list of clients you've previously interacted with or who have bought your product or something, and you're having a 4th of July sale. You send an email campaign. You get to see analytics on how many people open up the email. That's important. How many people actually use the coupon code that was in the email? Okay. How effective are those email campaigns? You run a Facebook ad is very, you're reaching. The beauty about the Facebook ads is your ability to target, do a lot of specific targeting. So you can target, specific niches very nicely, very easily. But if it's not effective, you want to, put it into something else or reaching a different target audience as you're figuring out, the best way. So the analytics is going to give you all that information. Another way is the Google ads, which is very different from Facebook ads because it allows people to market with intent. So a Facebook ad, you're paying for impression, whereas, it pops up in someone's feed. But on the Google ad, somebody's typing in looking for your specific product or your specific service, and you pay for the click. So
right. Go ahead, finish your thought.
So it's just very different ways to get your brand, recognized, or to get your product in front of people. There are different ways to do it, so.
Yeah, where I wanted to jump in, we're talking about these Google Analytics and these ads. And I tell you, it seems like you could think about something or have a thought about something, and all of a sudden you'll see it on your Instagram or or so talk about that a little bit.
The stalker, right? So,
Yeah.
so that's basically called. Well, I can't say you were thinking about it because it's not reading.
No, I know. I'm being,
But
but it
no, I
seems
get it.
like it.
No, it does. It does. So it's basically called remarketing, retargeting, or remarketing. They mean the same thing. So if you search something on Google or something on your phone, it's all connected, right? You have your profile set up, and they're able to remarket to you on different websites, on different platforms, things that. So if you're searching for a new car, and next thing you know, cars are showing up everywhere you turn, it's because you are being retargeted. Google knows, or Facebook knows, that you are in interest of cars. And any company that set up their ads to retarget people who are searching for cars are going to pay money for real estate to pop up in different on different pages that you're going to visit.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you talk about that, like you said, usually those are your larger companies, but for a small company to be able to do something like that, is that cost effective? And how would someone do that?
Is it cost effective? It's not cheap. It's not cheap, and it is part of your marketing strategy. So, what a lot of people should do is, if they're going to if they have a marketing budget of, I don't know, if they whatever their marketing budget is, about 20 to 30% of that should be used for retargeting, because they say there's a rule of seven. Just because somebody sees your advertisement, they're not going to act on it until they've seen it at least 7 times.
Okay.
So it's important that you keep in people's faces. Marketing is a long-term strategy. It's not overnight. It takes months to establish yourself, and it takes a lot of analysis of, what ads you're running, and you have to try so many different things. So big companies have the ability to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars a day to do that. And then you have teams of people looking at the data to say what's working and what's not working. You kind of turn off what's not working, put more money into what is working. And that's how they're so effective in following you around, so to speak.
Talk about companies, like you said, that have teams of individuals, employees that are following and keeping up with that. Would you say that you are that type of company that could help a small business?
Yeah, I definitely help small businesses, and depending on the budget of how, I always encourage people that we need to put money into retargeting. I don't have a minimum ad spend. Most companies that you work with, agencies, will require that you have a minimum ad spend of $10,000 per month in order for them to work with you. Yeah. So I don't have a minimum ad spend. I feel like any advertisement that you can afford to do is a start. It is a start in the right direction. It does put your business in front of people. Now, the more money you can spend, the more people it will be in front of. And there's always the thing called the numbers game, right?
Right.
So, but I know a lot of people just can't do that, but I don't think that they should count themselves out either. I think that there's still value in spending, $10 to $20 a day and seeing results and gathering data and gathering analytic. So when you do have more money, you kind of have at least a foundation about what's working and what's not working.
Right.
Make sense? Or
wow, this is very interesting. That we could probably spend the rest of the day. As a matter of fact, I think it'll be important that you come on and do a webinar about all of these things in the near future. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Well, my website is www.websieme.com. That's WEBSIEME. And my phone number and my email are all on the website. I encourage you to, visit me. All consultations are free. And I just really love meeting business owners and seeing if I can help them.
You know, I really enjoyed talking to you. I like the way you present everything. It's pretty easy, and you're very confident in what we definitely know that you know what you're talking about. So really appreciate this. If you want to learn more about the chamber, you can go to www.m-dcc, or you can call the chamber at 305-751-8648. And also just want to let you know that this Saturday, July 17th, is our Women's Business Council's Little Black Dress and Pearls luncheon. It will be at the Hilton Miami Airport. Please come out, and you can find out more information about that by going to our chamber's website. Dominique, any last words that you want to leave our listeners, our watchers with?
Just that, the chamber has been a lifeline for my business, not only from a mentorship point of view, from a business point of view. So anybody who's thinking about joining the chamber, I encourage you. It's worth it. It's worth your time. It's worth your effort. Great people in it. So thank you, Eric, for having me.
No, thank you. And also, please join us every Tuesday. We have basically a chamber meetup. Members like Dominique and others come on, and we talk about different subjects. Some information you may want to bring to the chamber, some information you want to share with us. But as Dominique said, please consider joining the chamber. Our job is to connect, as I say, connecting the dots. We create opportunities for economic and social transformation in our community. Thank you for joining us. Dominique, thank you.
Thank you.